everyone, it's Fanny. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm sharing some fun and beautiful DIYs featuring one of my all-time favorite crafting material, twine. That's right, it's twine it up time. So let's jump right in and get started. Alright, for our first DIY, we are starting super easy. You will need a large glass or plastic vase and two types of twine. That's it, let's twine it up. We're gonna begin by lining up the twine side by side, just like besties. Then grab the glue gun and start adding glue around the rim of the vase to secure the twine in place. I started with just the jute twine to anchor it. Once that's wrapped, glue the end down and bring in the cotton twine for a little extra texture. From there, it's just a wrap and glue moment. Add some dots of hot glue here and there to keep it all nice and smooth. You will start seeing the pattern coming together and it looks so good. Keep wrapping until you reach the bottom. Now, you could stop there. It's already looking cute, but you know me, I had to take one step further and I had to finish it up to have that really nice sparrow look. And then cut the excess and use the lighter to remove all the little fuzzy thing, and also I just like the smell. And for the final touch, we're just gonna be adding some wooden beads around the rim just to add that really nice touch. Alright, also I'm going to be making a cute little tassel, so I'm going to speed up the process of that one just to not make the video too long, and then we're going to place it right when we put the last bead. So once I had it done, I just used a little brush, just made it nice and fuzzy, and then I just placed it on it. And voila, there you have. And that's it for this one. Now it's time to add your favorite greenery or flowers, or you can even use it on the kitchen to use for your utensils or anything. So, or towels on the bathroom. I think you can use it in many ways. Alright, so let me know, what do you guys think? Moving on with the next project, we are bringing out the recycle box. You already know I love giving things a second chance and saving that coin. All right, we are going to be using a twine and also a pretty ribbon and a little bit of patience. First, cut one piece of twine the length of the box as a guide. Then cut a bunch more, maybe around 20 or so, depending your box size. Now comes the slightly chaotic looking part. Start gluing the twine vertical onto one corner of the box. And yes, it might look like a stringy disaster at first, but trust the process, okay? Next, start grouping the strings and space it out evenly. I didn't count it, I just eyeball it with confidence. Now cut your ribbon to match the width of the box and get ready to weave. This is a fun part. We are creating a cute crisscross pattern, I don't know how it's called, adding glue as we go. From there is just keep adding the ribbons and more glue and waving the strings and keep on going until we finish the box. At this point, you will start seeing that pattern coming together and it looks so beautiful. So once we are done with the weaving part, we're gonna cut the excess of the material, as you can see, and then we're gonna use the same ribbon to clean up the edges and cover those strings and glue spots like the crafting pro you are. So I went ahead and just cut some pieces to cover the corners first, just to give it that nice look.
These that shall go right here, like this. I think. That's right. This is a water.
That's mommy's water.
It tastes very tasty. Mommy? So So I was wondering if, like, so remember when you made a cat stuffed animal?
So let's back to craft after that little break. My little man just came back from school. Alright, so after that I went ahead and just cut 2 more pieces of ribbon and place it on the bottom part, and then also add some ribbon in the side part just to have that better, nice and finished look. And to finish up this project, just add some cute yarn that fits on the bags, any bags you're using, and then some cute flowers or greenery, and just admire your transformation. Like, that was the cardboard box. Who knew, right? And we are done with this one. Drop your comment below with a little heart or a happy face, letting me know that you enjoyed the project. You will need a wood round cut off from Dollar Tree, some twine, and a bit of recycled cardboard, something flexible. Alright, first take off the little hanger string from the wood round and then stain it using empty wax. Just rub it on and wipe it off, easy peasy and instantly rustic. So now we're gonna leave that wooden round on the side for a little bit, and we are gonna work on the cardboard piece. So now we just grab a ruler and mark down on the cardboard a 1-inch strips, and I cut 5 of them, and then I'm gonna wrap each strip with twine. I know it sounds like a lot, but I did it while on a video call with my cousin, and honestly I didn't even realize I was done. Multitasking queen over here. Next, line up the wrapping strip vertical and glue them together to make a cute little mat. Then I'm gonna be using some thin ribbon, but it can be any ribbon as long as it matches with the twine. To me it looks good. Alright, and place it right on top of the crease just to give you more support to the little mat. Now it's time to assemble everything, and this is my favorite part. Alright, so I'm gonna add tons of hot glue right on the edges of the circle just to keep the mat in place, as you can see. Then fold it in and then keep it pressed until it's completely glued. So now for the bag, we're gonna be using some rope to cover up the entire bag. Like that, we'll have a nice finished look and won't damage also the door where we're gonna be hanging. Alright, you can use burlap fabric, but at the moment I didn't have it, so I use what I have. Then I use the lighter to remove all the fuzzy things. Then for the hanger, I struck a few wooden beads into twine and attach it on the top part. You already knew I had to sneak in some bead action. wait, something I still feel like it was missing, so I made a cute bow using 2 types of ribbon, and it was the perfect final touch. Now just add your favorite flowers, hang it in your door, and let everyone think you bought it at the boutique store. Shh, will be your little secret. For this project, you will need a glass container. I got a large mason jar at a thrift store a while ago and finally got to use it, in some twine. Alright, so first we're gonna remove the lid and then cut a piece of twine and place it right on the ring of the jar, leaving a little space, and then make a loose knot. Alright, then we're gonna cut another piece of twine, double string the same length as the container, as you can see, and then cut a bunch of those. Alright, so now the fun part begins. We're gonna place it right on the first string that we place on the ring, as you can see, and put it through the loop and pull it, creating like a little knot. Then we're gonna repeat the 7 steps to cover up the entire ring. Our first string was loose on the ring, so we're gonna tie that one up and then make a double knot. Alright, then we're just gonna cut the excess of the material on the top. And now we're gonna grab 2 strings and basically just make a simple knot. Just like so. And then repeat the same step over and over until we finish the first ring. Alright, so we're gonna continue doing the same thing, but for the second row I'm showing here, you're gonna create like a diamond. So instead of grab the same 2 strings that you did at first and did a knot, you're gonna grab the first end and then add the next one and make the knot, if that makes sense. I went outside and did it on my hammock. The day was beautiful. Then I went back to the crafting table and now let's continue with it. Alright, so now we're just gonna add some hot glue and attach or secure the strings little by little and then cut the excess. Alright, then we're gonna grab a piece of rope. This one is not too thick and we're gonna cover up all the bottom part just to have a really nice finished look. Alright, so once I have the bottom bar covered, I went a little bit higher just to create like a little base kind of thing, and then cut the excess, add a little bit of hot glue, and there you have it. I had a little rubber little square that helps me to remove the extra hot glue, and that made it look nice. And to finish up this project, we're just gonna add some details. I had this blue stars, a sea star I think it's called, and also some blue pebbles, and I just place it on it, and then I just place the lid back again, and then I'm just gonna be adding also a little candle. Place it on top of the pebbles, and oh my goodness, there you have it. At this point I think it looks beautiful, but then I thought I want to add some color to the lid, so I add some white paint first, and then I went over with the blue paint and then scratch it a little bit with the same paper just to add that rustic look, and I just love it. But I also sharing in here some pictures with the white paint as well on the lid. Alright, that's it for this one. I think it turned out gorgeous, but I'm always happy to know what you guys think. This one is quick and easy. Dollar Tree carry those beautiful blue teal coastal color bottles, and I just grabbed those, and now we're just gonna add some twine right on the bottom part just to add some detail and also create like a base, and I think it looks beautiful. So then I just gonna add some little embellishment. I had this wooden cut off a while ago. I added some white paint and then a little bit of hot glue, place it right on top and between the glass and the twine, and oh my goodness, I think it looks so cute. And to finish this project, I just gonna add some little sparkly or like a glittery branches that I got last year around Christmas time and place it on it, and oh my goodness, you can also add other kind of greenery, but I thought those were just perfect for this kind of DIY. Alright, I hope you guys like it. For our next project, you will need one of those foam wreath from Dollar Tree, and then paint it with some chalk paint, acrylic paint, whatever you have on hand. Alright, once the paint was dry, then I went ahead and mark it down just to have even sections. So once I had the marks ready, I went ahead and grabbed a navy blue and paint those sections. So now you can see where we're going with this, right? So I grab a Nautical rope, I place it around the wreath, just adding a little bit of hot glue, and then make like a little loop, and then add more hot glue and continue like that all around the wreath. Alright, so once I was done with the rope, then I'm just gonna be cutting the excess, add more hot glue, and finish up that part. Right, then I'm gonna grab some twine and we're gonna cover first the ends of the ropes, so by placing like 3 or 4 strings in one, then add some hot glue and start wrapping around. Alright, then I'm gonna repeat the same step 4 times. And at this point I think it looks beautiful, but we're gonna be adding more details, so I grab a very thin twine. I just cut a couple pieces and then make a knot on the top first, and then I place it right on one side of the wreath under the twine, and then from there I start to making a little net. Just the same way we did the lantern, just by grabbing 2 pieces, make a knot, and continue from there. Alright, once I had that, now we just kind of tied it on the back a little bit and then add some hot glue here and there just to keep it in place. I think it turned out beautiful, and at this point I was trying to decide what to do, if you leave it like that or just add something else, but I went for it and I paint those wooden cutoff on white and then distress it a little bit with blue, and then add some hot glue and place it right on the top and on each side, and there you have it. And that is it for this one, and I think it turned out beautiful. Alright, for our next one, this one is quick and easy as well. So we're gonna use one of those wooden little houses from Dollar Tree in some navy blue and white paint as well. Alright, so let's paint the bottom part with the blue and then the top part with the white. Alright, so now the paint is dry, and then we're gonna be using some twine on the bottom part, but then also gonna be using one of those cute little stars right on the top, so I kind of measure it down first and then continue from there. Once I had the bottom part wrapped with twine, that's how it looks like. It looks beautiful as it is. Alright, so finish up with a little star, just add a little bit of hot glue, and there you have it. Alright, so then I thought something else is missing, and I have some little shelves around, and I just placed one on the bottom, and voila, there you have it. We're gonna be making a cute little garland. You know I love those, and I had to make one. Alright, so we're gonna be using one of those that already come a stream on it, but I'm gonna remove everything anyway, so let's use the same paint as well. So this trick I had showed you before, just add a little bit of paint on the Ziploc bag, a little bit of water to make it more beachy color and then place all the beads on it and rub it like you are marinating a chicken. And then we just gonna remove it from the bag, dry it out a little bit, and then we're gonna be making our cute little garland. And look what a beautiful color. Alright, so we're gonna string the beads again using a piece of twine, but in between of each bead we're gonna be making a knot. So a bead, a knot, a bead, a knot, and continue like that. And look how beautiful. Now we're just gonna leave that on the side for a little bit, and we're gonna grab a regular jute twine and then a cotton twine, and we basically going to be making a large tassel. So here we're gonna try to grab even parts of each string and then place it together by cutting another small piece of twine and place it in between them, as you can see, and tie it very good, like double knot. All right, once we had that, then we're gonna grab another piece of twine. So here I combined the colors and I did the cotton from the top part just to add more details. All right, then we're gonna cut the ends and also spread out the strings just to make it look fuzzy. Right, then I just use a little brush and comb the strings, cut the ends just to make it look nicer, and now it's time to put together the entire garland. Just attaching both pieces together, as you can see. Double knot, making sure the dust don't go anywhere. Alright, then we're just gonna cut excess, and for the final touch we're gonna add a little star just by adding a little bit of hot glue in one of the string and place it on it, and voila. And that's it for this one. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I don't even know which one is my favorite anymore, so that's why I have you guys, so please let me know which one was your favorite. See, so first I'm going to remove the label, and here I'm just going to show a little tip that I found out recently. So as you can see, when you remove the label tonight, you have all the sticky part right there. So I found out recently that that specific acetone, which is really strong, it smells really strong also, it does the job like magic, as you saw on the video. Absolutely love it, and like I said before, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I really love to share with you tips like this. Alright, so now move on with the DIY. I'm going to start by wrapping around the bottom part of the jar. As you can see, I just start with a little spring and then I just continue. Alright, once I was done with the first part, now we're going to be using this little guy. This is a glue stick, just to be able to have a nice round circle. You don't have to do that, you can just eyeball it, but this is a little tip and works perfect. Alright, so once I was done with that, now I'm just going to add another layer of just wrapping around and basically repeat the same step. And there you have it, and look how beautiful that jar looks, with the exception of that glue on it. Alright, so that little eraser that you saw there is from Dollar Tree and definitely does the job also. Alright, now we're going to be using some glow sticks, but only the handle part. Yep, and some Nautical rope. Alright, so all I did was just paint those little handles with acrylic paint. I didn't show the process only because I didn't realize that my camera was dead and I thought I was recording, so I wasn't able to redo it again. I didn't have more handles to redo it and show it, so yeah. Alright, back to the tutorial. After I had the little caps or handles painted, I went ahead and just placed it on the rope, and those fit just perfect. And then I just add more twine around just to give you that little extra touch. Then I went ahead and placed it on the extra string that I left it in there, and just to be able to attach it on the jar, and then just a couple more rounds and then add a little bit of hot glue, and there you have it. Alright, so now to final touch, we're going to just add some twine to the lid to just complete the look and add some lights. So here I'm just using the fairy lights. You can also use the LED lights or regular candle, it will look nice as well. Alright, and there you have it. I hope you guys enjoy. Two rings, so here I'm showing what I'm going to be using, which is rings that I have already cut from other rings. as you can see, a little wreath and another thing. All right, and a little mirror. Also, I'm going to be using some of that wire twine. It can be really useful. Also can be really tedious because when you start to fold in the wire, the twine start to come off, but it does the job. All right, so I cut 4 pieces and then I use it as a base to keep the little ring on the center, as you can see. All right, we had the base to work, and now we're just going to be add a little bit of hot glue in on the small ring to be able to attach the first piece of twine, and just wrapping around a couple times just to keep it in place. All right, so here is so simple. All I'm going to be doing is just, all right, it's just basically do like double wrap in one ring and then bring it down and make it double wrap again and continue that way. All right, it's actually super easy to do, but sometimes really hard to explain it. All right, so once I was done with that, now that ring, it looks so beautiful as it is, but we're going to add some details just to give it that really nice look. So I went ahead, add a little bit of hot glue and did the first round, just follow the ring, the outside part. And then I thought I still not like the little gap in between. I don't think it looks bad at all, but I thought I want to cover that, so I went over and using the same string. I didn't cut it at all and continue until the other side, and then cut the excess, and look how beautiful. All right, so we're going to work with the mirror. So as you can see, I'm not going to detach the mirror from the base. I'm just going to cover the plastic part with the thicker twine. Alright, we had the mirror ready to attach on the ring, so we're just going to flip that and add tons of hot glue on the back, and then just hold the mirror place. Just hold it for a little bit. But I also going to say, make sure you add like 2 or 3 pieces of ribbon right on the back, holding the mirror and also the rings, just to make sure it's sturdy. I didn't show that part, but I did that. All right, and we're basically done with this one. To final touch, all I did was just add the thicker twine around the mirror on the center, just to match with the edges, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. Alright, for our next DIY, we're going to be using one of those wire planters from Dollar Tree, and the same thick twine, and also the thinner one. Alright, so I'm going to start off by adding a little bit of hot glue on the inside, as you can see, and then going around to the ring of the bottom part, just like so. Alright, so now that we have the first ring, we're going to put the twine under that wire, creating a loop, and then just pull it and continue doing the same thing on the other loop, and you're going to end up with a nice pattern like that. Alright, so once you had that and the top part, you're basically going to continue just adding the loops by loop by loops. When you go into the top part, it's not necessarily a paddle. You're just basically going to follow the loop and just continue, put it in, put it out, put it in, put it out, if that makes sense. All right, and then I thought some of the ring is still showing on the bottom part, so I went ahead and went over and give it another. So once I was finished with that, I just placed the end inside, add a little bit of hot glue, and there you have it. Alright, and now my favorite part of this project is this part. We're going to use the thinner twine, and you're going to use whatever you have in hand. I'm using those little wooden planks, and now we're just basically going to wrap. So we're basically going to wrap a lot of twine on those wooden pieces, and then I did like half and half a roll on each one, right? So then I just going to use the iron just to flat it out a little bit, the twine, only because it's really thin and tend to curl, but you will see that in a little bit. Even I use the iron, is still curl, but it's okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to add 2 pieces of tape right on the top before I cut it, so like that I know where is the half. Alright, so now I'm just using the box cutter just because I think it's easier that way, and now I just going to remove it. Alright, so after I remove it from the wood, I add more tape right on the middle and then cut it. Alright, so now we have 2 really nice and even cutting twine. Alright, and I went ahead and repeat the step one more time and attach them together, and ended up with really long piece of twine like that. Alright, and now I'm just going to add some of that burlap ribbon to create a base, and like that would be easier to place it on the lantern. Alright, we have basically our lamp base, and we're going to attach the embellishment on the bottom part. As you can see, I really love this project. I really think it's a little bit different, but I just love it. Alright, so once I was done with that, I went ahead and add the light bulb. Woohoo! I didn't buy it, I had it. I have a broken lamp around the house, and yep, here we go. We replaced it and we made another one beautiful. So with all the strings that we just placed on it, we're going to create little tassels. And basically that is it for this one. Once I was done with the cutting part, I went ahead and just tested out to make sure the light bulb was working. And there you have it. I think it turned out so beautiful. So let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel to grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care and stay awesome. Ciao, ciao.